What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me as always, a day late, but never a dollar short, it's little brother Bro Shot. Jace, how are you on this absolutely non-stormy Thursday?
Blame it on the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing well. Time, it's time to talk some fallout of a show. So I'm ready.
A very, very big show, one of which I had to call you as always. What's up, Snake Eyes? Glad to see you can make it with us here in our crazy schedule, thanks to the storm last night knocking out my Wi-Fi. So Acolyte finally reached its death knell, its season finale. Hopefully, let's cross all of them. Series finale. Because wow, this was something special. Before we get into it, let's say what's up to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Chief. What's going on?
Hey man, that's the quickest introduction I've ever got, man. Usually it takes a while and everything. Appreciate you though. Thanks for bringing me on, man. Once again, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back.
Once again, it's on. 80s kid from the 90s. What's up?
What's going on, Ace?
My man, 80s kid. Woo! What a ride this Acolyte has been for you. First up, I was about to actually mention that. I wanted to make sure you were doing good, checking in with you, extending my condolences to you and your family, the loss of your father.
Even condolences, my man. Sorry to hear this.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
Jamelin Parks is here too. What up, partners? What's up, Jamelin? He of the $35 Phoenix, not the $49.99 one. So let's get into it because I'm trying to be really ambitious and do two lives tonight. Acolyte, Chief, I know you swore up and down you were not doing it. You said basically I'm not gonna be able to do it. Did you in fact watch Acolyte last night?
Can I be honest with you? I didn't watch it last night, so hold on. So if we had done anything last night, it wasn't going to happen for me. I got to be honest with you. I had no intention of watching it. It wasn't even like I was like, oh, I missed it.
I wouldn't say I missed it, Bob.
So I did see it today. But I did not. Listen. But that was only as a favor to you, man, to be honest with you. Because I knew that this conversation would go on, and had I not seen it, I'd have been like, oh, what happened? So, yeah. But now, let me tell you something. It was a favor to you. It was not a small favor to you. Let me give you that. Quite a big favor. So
I would agree.
Right,
I would definitely agree with that.
When I call you and I be like, I need somebody to walk the dogs, I expect you to hop in your car, drive over, and walk my dogs. You know what I mean?
Tire them out too.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I may call them at 8:30 at night. I need a favor. You know what I mean? And I expect you to hop in your car and come because I saw this episode. I expect you to be like, I'm on my way. No, nothing else. Just you heard that I needed a favor, you on your way.
Jason, I watched it. And at one point I had to pause. And this is my constant battle with this show. I'm always like, how long can I go before pausing it and calling Jace? And I didn't make it through the halfway point. And then he said, yeah, we talked, I want to say about 15, 20 minutes. And he said, good luck not calling me back. I was like, whatever, man. This is the most ridiculous part of the show. And then like maybe.
Did you last 5 minutes?
Maybe 75 seconds afterwards, I called him back. And he just laughed at me. And I was like, you're right. I don't even care. I need to talk about this joint right here.
Oh man. So it wasn't just that you called. You're like, all right, maybe I'll just text. And you text. And you're like, and it was probably like another 3 minutes. Like, oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? Like, did you really do this?
I fell asleep. I fell asleep twice.
Wow.
You fell asleep?
Twice.
I wish I could fall asleep on the show. I am too aghast and shocked at what's going on to fall asleep on it.
I kept waking up to the next show about to be played. And
Like,
I
oops.
had to rewind it back to the last thing I remember seeing. And
did you also hear the back?
So it was listen, yeah. So in my mind, my subconscious has seen the movie twice.
I wish it were a movie.
That's
The movie would have been quicker.
Exactly.
Or the show.
Let's see.
I didn't even understand a whole bunch of it, man. I am without Star Wars lore in my heart. And I know you guys go through the books, you read the books, you catch up on the vlogs. I see them in the background. I know you wear the shirts. Your birthday parties are Jedi themed. You know what I mean? I know you guys go on Saturdays. You guys go to the park and have lightsaber Star Wars. You know what I mean? I don't do any of that, so I don't know if any of this is made up or not. But
it's made up. All right,
it's one hell of an imagination.
Is it?
Because listen, bro,
that's not good imagination because none of it makes sense.
Stuff had happened that I was like, what? What does this mean? Why is this happening? I think Acolyte is. Remember Prince? He was the artist formerly known as Prince. He just had a symbol. I think the Acolyte is the series formerly known as Star Wars. It's just like their interpretation of what the story should be. So it should be, instead of Acolyte, what if Acolyte?
Oh, that's very accurate.
And then there you go. And then that takes care of all this other stuff.
So basically you're saying Leslie Headland is telling all the kids how the story should go.
What if Acolyte?
Once upon a time. All right, let's get into all this because again, so much. All right. And Jace did not want to watch the show either. He right from jump, he said, I don't want to watch this show. And I said, come on, man, it's gonna be fun-ish. We can talk about it. Let's talk about them hits. And he was essentially the kicking and screaming participant in the show with us, Chief, because he was not interested. All I knew they need to dangle for you to be like, oh, all right, I'll watch it. Was throwing a couple lightsabers. Throw your lightsabers up, and you were good. Jace was like, nah. And I think a lot of it had to do with the premise that Leslie Headland, the showrunner, had when she was, telling everybody about it. It's basically Frozen meets Kill Bill. Seems a little tricky to do in Star Wars, but okay. But she went into like this massive chasm. It's like the world opened on her. And not just like a little sinkhole. It was just everything, like a Death Star blow. Where she said, I want to make the Sith the underdogs and more sympathetic. You're like, do you not understand the core concept of this? And clearly, as all 8 episodes of The Acolyte have aired, I know for sure she does not understand what Star Wars is really all about. And so my favorite part was the opening because it was like, don't bother watching last week. It didn't matter. Like, you literally could have gone from episode 6, done anything else productive with your life. Totally missed out on episode 7, and episode 8's here. And she's like, and there's so much stuff that didn't get addressed, like why the stranger Quirm's eyes turned black, like he was a Coven witch, and just whatever. He's just using that to take off the helmet of Darth Smiley. And so Osha's like, whoa. And I had to stop doing a little water drinking game so I went down, where every time there was a moment, a line of dialogue that was lazily thrown in from the prequels, the original trilogy, take a swig.
Oh gosh.
It is the future, you see. What are you talking about? Stop using Yoda's dialogue or any other character's dialogue in here. So it's just dumb stuff right away. And I see my sister. She's got a lightsaber to Soul. Oh no. And then meanwhile, Soul, the dumbest Jedi who ever existed, whoever ignited a lightsaber, is confessing, pouring out his heart to May, who's like, you dumb Jedi, you can't even figure out that I'm using the droid that you should have taken from me right away to get out of this hastily constructed prison, aka straps on a stretcher. She escapes from a Jedi master simply from running. Now, there's several ways the Jedi Master could have stopped this. He could have used the Force. Oh, you're trying to go into the door? Let me close the door. Let me just grab you. Let me trip you up. Lots of things. He did none of them. He watched her and go, oh no. And he's chasing after her, and we're having this crazy. And I feel like the effects on this asteroid field trip were kind of cool. Jace was not as impressed. But then all of a sudden, Basil the traitor starts yanking out the cords and like, nope, you're not going to catch her, dude. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No, only drink water. I could not drink anything stronger, not even Coke, because this would have put me in a caffeine coma.
No.
So, yeah, so it was just a bunch of dumb stuff. Go ahead, Jace. I don't want to keep talking. Go for it.
Oh, okay. All right. Because like Jeff, I found that I need to take notes during this show because I can't pause every 5 seconds. I got to be like, are you freaking kidding me? So what I came my first to this point is like, can Saul sense anything? Because any Jedi anywhere would be able to sense, hey, there's something wrong. The person I have in prison is actually moving shady. I mean, if you actually watch the prequels, we saw Anakin and Obi-Wan sense there was danger in Padme's room, and they were far away from the room. He couldn't sense that May was getting out, was using the droid to get out. Great job. All right. Why is about to fire? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So this next thing is, as you're watching this asteroid scene, there is nothing that helps you understand what Saul's motivation are. Is Saul, because he should have already made sure she couldn't get out, but that's happened because we need to spend some more money on this budget. What was Saul's intention? Was he going to put a tractor beam on the ship? Was he going to blow it away? Was he going to cripple it? If he was going to kill May, why didn't he do that on the ship while he was pouring her heart out? I mean, it's just so he lets her get away for no dang reason. And then then the point where why after Basil, and I'm going to say this because I don't care. If after Basil, the last episode was dry humping May's leg to stop her from doing anything. Now magically he's so seen her heart, and now he's decided that he's going to stop her. The guy who probably paid him or whatever the heck he did, he's going to stop her from getting rid of May at all costs. Even as he pulls out whatever cords. How does this little gerbil know exactly which ones are the laser files versus the ones that will actually cripple the ship? Like,
he's a tracker.
Please. So he tracks. He smells. Oh, it was like hyperdrive. Like, no, like, please. I understand your audience is mostly adults and they're not kids, but you have to act like you're writing for kids to explain how does this make sense. And so much at this point doesn't make sense. Jeff, I bring it back in.
What's up, James? Glad to hear your power's back on. It's the worst time of year to lose power.
Oh gosh.
So all roads converge on Brendok, where nothing else matters on this entire series but this one place. So Vernestra takes as many Jedi as her random Jedi Knight can gather, and they're gonna go to this planet because she knows what's going on now. And so in the meanwhile, Saul's chasing after her. He still hasn't figured out another way to get into doors and all that stuff. And he goes back to the site of his greatest tragedy, where he doesn't understand how to use the Force to pull 2 little small teenage girls, preteen girls, instead of trying to hold up a big, massive bridge, which didn't look that massive. Anyway, then the stranger Quamir and Osha are like, we need to go. And they're like, I'm going to stop her from killing Soul. And he's like, I'm going to cheer her on. And then they get to the door and she's like, well, don't suppose you can get in here. And he's like, boop, watch me. So he's got a teleportation power.
You jumped a little bit. Because unfortunately, this is the part, like, after we're back to Quamir in Osha, in the magic world that we have never actually seen a word or title from. Every other planet we know the word of. I mean, we know the planet. But as they're leaving to go figure out, then you see this creepy little guy crawling out of the cave for no reason because he's not supposed to know. Unfortunately, that's the dude. Yeah, there we
go.
No,
it's not. Chief, you know who it was, right? In that cave.
Jeff, let me tell you this. I didn't care who it was in the cave. So let's just start there.
Chief, we watched another series with this dude in it. He likes to sneak around.
You're saying it was Gollum.
It was Smeagol. That's the only thing that makes sense. It was a crossover, and there you go.
That's the crossover you never knew you wanted. Star Wars and Gollum. But I mean, they decided. I mean, Leslie had said all along, she's like, "There's going to be 2 Sith in this," and everybody was kind of, "Don't do it. Like, just use whatever the heck you want to do. Just don't bring in Plagueis. Don't bring in Tenebris. Don't bring in Plagueis, because you it's just gonna be too hard for you to do." So on the final episode, just to try and, hey, if I can get a second season, I like to put this teaser that Plagueis was there the whole time. I mean, just like Agatha was Agatha all the time, it was Plagueis all the time. All this happened because of Plagueis. And if you read this book, you understand why you want to throw this book after reading. And you're just like, no, stop it. Just leave this book alone. Make your own story. Go.
Why did Quimir not seem to know this other dude was skulking around his cave? It didn't look like it had like 20 rooms, 12 bathrooms. It looked like it was a cave where I can see the end and whatever. It also, why is Plagueis just kind of hanging out in the dark?
Okay, because again, nobody in this whole Jedi or Sith can sense anything. Like, Plagueis in this world where we kind of all thought he was, this is a place. It's from the book. It's like, yeah, Plagueis isn't hiding the fact he's a Sith. He and his master are chilling over here. They're not worried about somebody else. Oh, you would call me Sith? Like, get the hell out of here, dude.
You may call me Sith.
Yeah, like,
all right. Or as Stone Cold would say, you switch up those letters a little more, and then you got my thoughts on it. So everybody's at Bryndock now, and Saul is doing what most people would do when someone decides, I'm going to break out of this captive bond you have me in and take the escape ship to escape from you. He does the horror movie thing. Ray! I thought he was calling for Ray for a second.
I thought it was Ray.
Ray! May! Did he expect her to go, yo, dude, I'm here. Sorry for all the chase. I'm right here.
Again, why can Saul, who's a Jedi master, not sense where May is?
He didn't have Basil with him. Meanwhile, he doesn't get upset at Basil whatsoever for sabotaging the ship. He didn't even throw a salty word at him. Like, you stupid idiot, you dumb hamster. Right. Why did you sabotage it? He's like, all right, well, I guess you had your reasons.
Did you want an explanation on anything? No, we didn't even. He just lands, gets on the ship. There's no crossword. There's not even a dirty look. It's just, I guess that happens. Let me go find May. I think this will work out for me.
So, wow. Anyway, so then we get another showdown between Quimir and Soul. And this time they're doing a straight up crouching tiger, hidden dragon. They're like, woo. Jace, what did you describe that fight as?
I described it as the version of Mary Poppins in Star Wars.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I mean, like, why is the dude literally floating backwards? It's like, come on. I don't need to see a wire to know this is a wire trick. Like, it, and there are no circumstances should this look lame. It's like, it worked very hard to do this, but then it's like, oh, let's look at us. Like, come on, man. Like, give us something that actually makes it look like Star Wars. That didn't feel like Star Wars.
And Chief, what did you think about the lightsaber battle? I know that can save so many projects in your mind. What you think about this?
Shaking his head.
All of a sudden, this dude can fight.
That's all he can do.
But he's been getting whooped the whole time. They've all been getting whooped. It's at one point it was a pack of Jedis in my Mel Gibson joint. It was a pack of Jedis against this dude, and they all lost. And now all of a sudden you go against the dude, and you just in that joint just So that already annoyed me.
Then, Chief, remember in our actual kind of quasi good episode, is Saul's the only one who's standing toe to toe with the dude.
But
Jackie's standing toe to toe with him.
You shut your
Listen, I don't know if toe to toe is the right. He didn't get killed.
Right.
He didn't get killed.
Probably a little bit more accurate.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, even now, if I fought Mike Tyson, toe to toe wouldn't be if I didn't get knocked out, people like, well, he didn't get knocked out. And I feel like that
remember, he actually had, as stupid as our story is Saul actually has a lightsaber to the guy who's killed 5 or 6 Jedi, and then magically the guy puts his weapon down and it's, oh, you can't kill me, I'm unarmed. Well, I guess you're right. I guess I'll have to wait and try and get you to prison after you've killed half my whole team. So,
bro,
Saul is one. The only good thing is Saul can do is hold his own against the same guy, and the guy didn't do anything different after the first encounter. Like, oh, I saw how your master beat me the first time. Let me change up my strategy a little bit. No, I'm just going to come jump in straight in, like do the exact same dang thing. Don't bring anything different to the fight, and just see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. He was just excellent this time around. Fighting, doing his thing. No ground given, no ground taken. And I was just like, oh, okay, so now you're a fighter. It's just the whole, you guys were going over it, but the whole thing was just, I mean, he let her escape. Then he tried to kill her. Then the rat was like, nah, you can't kill her. But then they fly through an asteroid field, but the asteroids don't hurt. These are cool asteroids where they don't destroy the ship. Because I was watching and I'm like, they're just like, because she was like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make it tough for him. And I'm like, how's it tough for him if the asteroids?
It's not even, I mean, they just literally.
See, my man, he took a bus through an asteroid field.
Like they were jelly asteroids.
He was not doing any dodging. He was just like, I'm going to get it.
And nothing happened. I mean, they were just rolling through. Then they flipped through the asteroids. The two of them, it was all love. Yeah. It was all love.
And also, Steve, I'm glad you brought that. It's like once May's ship, her little ship, gets crashed through the atmosphere. It's like, so this ship isn't going to burn up on entry. Just okay, all right.
Nothing, okay. Bro. Nothing was as it seemed. And like I said, the lightsaber fight was. It was definitely Crouching Dragon, Hidden Tiger, or whatever it is, and like I said, this dude all of a sudden, packed skills. And then I thought he killed him, but turns out he just hit the blade because he hit the swoosh, and then he paused like he had done something.
I was waiting for the drop.
Oh my gosh, that was such like a samurai. I beat you. No, yeah. I beat the blade. But it was also like, hey, Quamir. If he hits your helmet, his lightsaber is going to short out. But you're trying to stop him from doing that. Are you trying to win or not? But maybe 2 seconds later, maybe that makes sense. Okay.
All right. But before we get into the end of that fight, because Chief, I was with you. I'm waiting for him to fall over because she ripped off so much stuff, including stuff from Clone Wars. I was expecting a Darth Maul Obi-Wan Kenobi fight. Oh shoot, that's it. All right. But we get this confrontation between May and Osha, which is so stupid. They're like, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you more. And they start fighting. These are two twins. These are twins. I have to say two twins. These are twins who are facing off, who haven't seen each other. They have a quiet moment. Nobody's here to interrupt. No talk. Let's just start fighting.
The second time.
The craziest part was one has been training for the last, say, 10 years to be an assassin. For whatever reason, she's managed to kill a Jedi. The other did a Jedi training course online with the worst Jedi ever, and then decided, I'm going to drop out because this dude's a terrible teacher. He's the worst Jedi ever, and I'm worse than him. And she goes on to become a mechanic, a space mechanic. I don't care what term they actually use. That's what she is. They're fighting and they're acting like Tomax and Zaymot. They're like matching each other's moves. And like, how is this possible? One, they shouldn't even look alike anymore. One should have like a ponytail. One should have a mohawk. One should have an afro. And they're doing their thing, but all of a sudden they're like matching move for move, like they've been training together every day, like Ryu and Ken.
Exactly.
I'm like, what is this foolishness?
Yeah, it's like
this fight shouldn't be played out at all the same way.
The Jedi's don't even know karate.
And
that's crazy.
This is not the video game Terrace Scott. It is not a 80s and 90s video game. But unlike, as much as she tried to rip off everything in the prequels, Anakin and Obi-Wan as a duel makes sense. They actually are master and apprentice. They train each other. They know what works, what doesn't work, and here's something that might work. These are two people who have been seeing each other in 16 years. It makes no sense in trying to explain that away of how one is a Jedi killing machine and the other is mechanic fool. And those styles are exactly the same thing, no matter how many galaxies away. It's just about like, come on, man. Can we skip this? Like, get to the next dang thing.
It was so wasted because if you wanted to have them fight, you could have done something cool where May's using like gadgets, like she's Iron Man to stop her assassin sister. That could have been cool.
Or lightsabers.
But it's just like,
is that dang hard? It's Star Wars lightsabers. Come on.
They didn't need lightsabers. I'm just saying she could have had another droid fighting, doing stuff like a Mr. Terrific kind of deal. And she's using all her knives and all that stuff because she was training to be an assassin until episode 4, where she was like, my sister's alive. I'm not doing any of this. I'm going to go to the Jedi. All of a sudden, because remember, she saw what happened. Why do you need to go to the Jedi now? I'm surrendering to the Jedi, but I want to get Saul. What?
She could have gone. She could have gone to Coruscant because, again, she has a spaceship while Saul is out. She could have also decided to go, hey, I'm going to send the ship to Coruscant. Hey, I would like to make a formal plea against Saul that he's killed the whole coven of witches that have a report that says he was on this planet he shouldn't have been on. But, again, we had 2 episodes based on this stupidity, and magically nothing. It's like, he told no one, and we don't care. Go.
Well, no. Well, apparently somebody actually does care what the Jedi are doing because Martian Manhunter shows up. Apparently, after rolling out of Supergirl, he decided, I'm going to go to Coruscant. I am going to be a senator. I'm here to see what's going on. And he's like, I'm bringing you suckers up because y'all are shady. And I'm kind of trying to go like, well, is he wrong? No. And he's like, well, I'm going to come here and I'm going to get punked out by you, Vernestra. Where's your lightsaber whip? And she's like, well, fine. She goes off and he's like, how's your stomach? Oh, that's right. It's an inside joke that no one knows about but me and my showrunner wife. So then we move on and Premier has lost his fight. And Saul is like, I've got you again. I could kill this guy who's killed so many Jedi one more time. Instead, I'm going to be looking at the weather, and all of a sudden, because this dude has no Jedi skills whatsoever, he's no Jedi, as Bib Fortuna would say, May comes through and takes his lightsaber. How is this possible? How is this possible? As Darth Vader would say.
Can't sense anything.
Yeah,
no Jedi awareness at all. Because he takes all of it and uses it for a fight, but now he can't sense anything. He can't sense where Blade's going.
He needs to use some of his skill points onto his Jedi awareness because they're in the red. He just has none.
He's borrowing from the awareness and then like fighting skill. Like, come on, dude. Healing? Nah. Fight.
All right. So then he's confronting May. You are not twins. You're one person. I don't understand what that means. I really don't. I don't understand what the power of one, the power of two, the power of many means.
Okay.
They never explain it.
Didn't he have a whole episode to explain to her why she was cuffed up all of this?
Wait, he's not cuffing it. He's not Beyonce cuffing baby. He's not doing that. He is literally just pouring out his heart and telling her exactly what Leslie Headland wants him to say because there's no reason for this terrible communication. Not only is he the worst Jedi ever, he's the worst communicator ever either as well. There you go.
He literally has... I've been waiting 16 years to tell you this story.
And I'm not going to tell you the full story.
Just like OSHA, I got other things to do, but I'm going to get to that story eventually when it's the most inconvenient time ever. Like, come on.
Absolutely. I give you and you give me those. It sounds like a song lyric. especially. So then he's like, yes, I killed your mother. He forgets to tell that important part of because it looked like she was going to teleport, kill you, like some of the other witches when they tried to take Helnaka out. So I was doing what I thought was right because it looked like she was taking you out. Because remember earlier when you were like, it's okay because to do this witches coven thing, the sacrifice of many is great. What? No, it's not great. I'm not gonna let you get sacrificed. You're a little kid. Because I gotta kill the lady who's gonna sacrifice you. That would be good insight to tell someone. I'm trying to stop you from dying. Is that possible? Not from a Jedi. So then, out of the corner of his eye, because his Jedi awareness is negative. Osha goes, is it true? Did you kill my mother? Did you hear the rest of the part where I said I tried to stop her from killing your sister? Did you care so much about it again?
I didn't tell that part of the story.
That's right. An idiot. He didn't need
because I have enough time. I'm the most emotional Jedi you've ever seen, crying as soon as possible when there's a person in danger, making Torben look like the stoic rock that he was. Like he's I'm so sorry I killed
Let's
you.
Go home.
Oh, I didn't matter that all of the witches had decided to kill us and were trying to take us out. I'm the only one that's guilty. Oh.
So then Osha goes, I don't want to hear any more of your crap. And she pulls, remember earlier in the very first episode, when the ship that she's on is falling because no one dies in these crash ships. She can't summon a little bit of the force to grab her droid because she is about to die. Only her ship is fine. They've got great airbags and she's okay. But she can't use the force to grab her droid. All of a sudden, she's found all the force and she's going to choke out Saul. And Saul goes, for what I've done, I apologize. But again, I was trying to save your sister. Don't kill me. No, he goes, it's okay. And she goes, thank you for your permission, sir. And she kills a Jedi master.
What is up with these Jedi deciding, hey, now that I see you, it's okay if you kill me? It's cool.
It's fine.
I mean, honestly, if I don't do it myself, you can do it. It's all good, homie. You got it, man. We've been living a lie this time, and you know what? Go ahead and get your revenge.
Chief, I don't know about you, but I was like, how's his lightsaber turning red? I had to call Jace. That was my second time. I was like, whoa, what's up with the red lightsaber?
I don't even know what happened there. I don't even know what happened there. I don't even know this is. If you got hate in your heart, let it out. I felt like it was a Clayton Bigsby moment. Let the hate out in your heart, and the hate went into the lightsaber. I didn't even know what happened there. Respect, Nashville.
I don't know, Mage.
I don't even understand. What's the? You don't even have to go get your crystal. You just grab a lightsaber,
right? One off the floor,
and just change it to whatever crystal you want. Orange, pink. And I was talking to my man. Shout out Mike Parker, man, wherever you are, man. My guy out mowing lawns trying to make some money for his family, man. He's a good dude, but he loved the show. And I was just looking at him when he said it. He was like, "Yeah, it's a great show." And I hadn't seen the show at this point, so I just kind of looked over at him. I was like, "Did you see the other episodes?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, maybe he did love the show." But I got there and I was like, "Oh nah." I mean, nothing about this show made sense.
I like how mad your dogs are getting as you talk about the show. They're like,
that's because the show was on in the other room, and they are fussing at me. They are yelling at the dog. I mean, they're yelling at the screen. They hated the Acolyte too. Oh yeah, it just didn't make sense. Does anybody know that the lightsaber changes colors?
I called Jace. He said they do.
At some point, there was kind of you could bleed a lightsaber to change the crystal, but then there's other times you have to use artificial crystals. That one's kind of up in the air. Whatever. Now,
what's that, David Thanos? All right. So then, this is. You got something else?
I was just trying to see, like, for all this going on, why didn't the Jedi, when Osha was first delivered to the Jedi 16 years ago, how didn't they test her midichlorians and see that hers was abnormally large?
Apparently, you only need to do one check of midichlorians. They don't change as you get older. Apparently, they're locked in.
I mean, yeah, but even if it's, I mean, your initial count is pretty much locked in, and then you go closer and closer to your potential.
Closer.
But, again, they would have checked it like, hey, why did you bring this girl here who we told you not to bring here?
Well,
we did tell you, hey, dog, we don't need her. She's a little too old for us. So why are you bringing her here on our doorstep?
Did they know the whole time that there was one person?
Did we?
No. But I'm saying, did that? Because I mean, you got their blood. You tested their blood. I remember them taking the blood. Mm-hmm. So if you took the blood and you tested the blood, obviously right there at that point you knew it was the same person. Yeah. It didn't make any sense. You know what, man?
You're right. Nothing. The problem is a lot of this show doesn't make sense from one scene to the next. I mean, again, it's one of those. Again, you say, "Oh, I'm writing this show for a 7-year-old."
No, don't get to that yet.
No. I'm saying like, oh, but I write it sexy though.
She was not writing this for kids.
No, this is solely not for kids. And then it's like, okay, I'm not writing it for kids, but also I'm not going to have anybody in the writer's room who challenged me and say, hey, did that make sense from the thing we did last week? There's nobody in there doing it. I don't care if it's the overall creator should be like, yeah, here's the story I want to tell, and this needs to make sense. And that didn't happen.
All right, so Vernestra is the only smart Jedi because she realizes there's a gate, morons. I'll use the Force to open the gate. It was so dumb. I was like, why did no one else do this on this entire show? Oh, that's right, because Soul's the worst Jedi ever.
No,
and she comes.
No one thought of it. I mean, there was Padawans, there was everybody could have opened the doors gate. Qui-Gon moved a blast door with the Force. Why is this hard? He could have used his lightsaber to. It was a locking mechanism. Just use your lightsaber in there. Like, come on. What's going on, Lefty?
So yeah, so we got that. It was just absurd. Then we get like a Dark Knight shout out. We've got Basil playing the role of all the dogs and the Jedi chasing. And after Osha and May and Quamir, because he's like, whoa, that crazy whip mastermind's here. Let me put my helmet back on. And he's like, if I can find you this fast because I know this place, just imagine someone is smart enough that can open a gate using the Force, how quickly they could find you. And they've got a tracker. So they do the only sensible thing. Let's all three of us go into the ship and get out of here. Good plan.
Jeff,
or
that didn't happen.
Or we could pull a Superman 2 trick. You can kiss me and make me forget everything. Because I am thirsty for your shoulders, Quamir. And I saw you do a little skinny dip action, so I want it. And he's just like, I can use a mind wipe and I'll make you forget. So they started singing their song. Whoever came up with this song, I don't know. And then she's forgotten everything. Osha, the now evil Sith apprentice, rolls out with Quamir. May is like, I don't know what happened. Vernestra goes, well, Soul, the guy who killed your mama, he was so upset about this conspiracy theory, killed the other Jedi who were involved, and everything's good.
Oh, no, she lied. She lies to the whole Senate, and tells
the whole Senate.
I mean, this advisory council that magically we should have had in episode 2 that they were going to do oversight on. We decided to save that to episode 8, to try and hopefully get a season 2. Like,
it should have been. That's a more entertaining story.
There was
one conversation.
I mean, you made 2 episodes. Your flashback episode should have been scattered in like Arrow, and it should have been episode 7. Here's what happens. Go. That last little flashback. Here's what's happened. Oh wow, that might have been more entertaining. But we only got a budget for like 5 actors, so we really couldn't afford it. I mean, it's $180 million, but way too many people here. Come on.
So then it's the big heroic finale. Like every great Star Wars movie, we get the heroes looking out into the distance, whether it's 2 suns, the sunset. We've got our heroic, she's a villain, Osha, holding her lightsaber for reasons, because there's no reason she should have a lightsaber in her hand. And then Quamir comes up and he does not ask, is it okay if I hold your hand? Which made me a little bit uncomfortable. I got to tell you.
Shut up, Jeffrey. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. God Shut up. Okay.
So he takes her hand and they're holding hands, watching the sunset. Like, what in the world? I'm not rooting for her. She's a killer Jedi. She killed Saul, the only one that Quamir did not kill. He snapped Yord's neck. Remember Yord? He killed Jackie with a and everybody else that we knew about is dead. Yeah. And then Vernestra's like, all right, y'all, peace out, see you later. By the way, Yoda, what up?
Okay, so that you killed the one dude who actually wanted to help you out. 16 years ago, he said you wanted to be a Jedi, and he moved heaven and high water to freaking make you a Jedi, and you failed at that
miserably.
And then, you didn't fail, he did. Wait, he actually has another apprentice, so obviously it's your sorry ass that failed. Like that's the joke. I mean, it's like, okay. And then at the end, our two heroic villains, because I want to make the bad guys feel sympathetic, and you're still like, no, still freaking bad guys. I don't feel for them at all. Like, get rid of them. I hope the Jedi find them, and I hope they die. Come on, moving on.
All right, last thing. Because this I thought was really interesting. So I posted my review like I normally do on Facebook. And one of my good friends from high school, what's up, Virgil Walker? He said, I think Leslie Headland, brought a truth to light. The Jedi are no different than the Sith. Yes, Jedi don't use the Force generally to kill, but the power it provides placed them in a role of privilege. Think back to the prequels, moving like an army, which they did not want to do. History has shown that military leaders have grown in power and then overthrown the government they once protected. So my whole issue with that is, I love a good debate. But my issue with this is why you can't let adults play in the sandbox that is Star Wars unless they're willing to look at it like kids. And George Lucas said, which you were so kind to give to me, from an interview with THR, Hollywood Reporter. Lucas insists that the prequel trilogy and Star Wars in general were supposed to be a kid's movie. He specifically cites children who are just beginning to make sense of the world around them and how he aimed to help them answer important questions such as what's important in life. If you look at stuff like Star Wars, like a 40, 50, 60-year-old adult, you're going to start trying to pick it apart and go, well, that's not what my life is like. I got to see my boss do all kinds of terrible things to women and I didn't know anything about. And you start trying to go, well, you're not special. And the person who's going to teach you is going to go back to all the things, the problems, because I had problems as an adult. Little kids just want a happy ending. They don't go, well, what happens after Happily Ever After shows up on the screen? They go, cool. Luke and everybody are happy. You got to see Darth Vader. You got to see Yoda. You got to see Obi-Wan as Force Ghost. I'm good. I don't need to see anything else of Star Wars. I got my happy ending. Indy and his father ran off. That's cool. Great. I don't need to see anything else. Hey, great. Ripley, Hicks, Newt, and Bishop got away into the ship. I don't need to see anything else. But what happens when adults start playing with it and they look at it like adults? They go, well, that's not realistic. That's not how it would really play out. And as an adult, I'm going to bring reality to Star Wars, something that George Lucas intended for kids. That's why we got into it as kids. And we're like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And then when people start going, well, let's talk about how military leaders really do act when they get in power. We're little kids. We don't care about that. It's this adult thing where adults want to go, well, let's make Star Wars. Let's make Marvel. Let's make DC. Let's make everything that kids like for adults. We're not the target audience.
Okay.
And you can make a good show like Mandalorian and everything like that, and Ahsoka, but Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau don't approach it like adults. They go, how would this be awesome and cool for kids? That's why you had Grogu. That's why Grogu's playing around with the IG. He's going, let me press button, let me press button. That's something that kids would do. And that's why a show like this doesn't work, because she's trying to make it an adult show.
All right. Here's and when I saw that comment, I was like, okay, let's. That's a good thing, a good topic to debate. Because the problem is George Lucas actually explains in Revenge of the Sith the difference between the Jedi and the Sith. The Sith think inwardly only of themselves. They're selfish. That's the problem. It's like the Jedi are trying to use the privilege they have to make the world better. The Sith internally think, I can make the world better if you follow me. If you follow what I want you to do, it's perfect for me, and you guys will deal with it. That was the clear and that's when Palpatine was trying to seduce, Anakin to the dark side. He was like, hey, I need you to be selfish. Instead of thinking about the rest of the world and how good of a Jedi you are, I need you to think inward selfishly of just trying to do whatever is possible to save Padme. That was a lesson you can teach a 12-year-old. Hey, if you think selfishly, there are going to be consequences on all levels of things. If you think outwardly giving of yourself, the world's going to be a much better place.
Chief, I'll let you have the final word. What was your final takeaway from this show?
How do you think I want the final word?
Did I look at you like that?
What you think?
Because you suffered, you endured. You said, you know what? I'm gonna watch this episode. I'm gonna take it for the team. So,
it was a story that made no sense with Jedis in it. That's basically the final word, man. It didn't make any sense to anyone. I didn't have I don't even know what it was supposed to be about. I'm sitting here thinking like, was it the girl's path to the darkness, to the dark side? So now we watch her reign as a Sith in the next Acolyte season 2.
No, the problem is when you introduce Plagueis, that's another Sith Lord. There's only 2 of them around. Plagueis and Tenebrous are going to kill them.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. So it was a story that didn't make sense. It was 8 episodes long. 2 episodes were the same.
From a certain point of view,
the Jedi were the worst Jedi ever to grab a lightsaber and go. I think they were all younglings, and they just looked old. And I'm glad it's over. That is the main thing about it. There's no Acolyte next week that I'll be expected to watch. I can actually just skip the Disney app altogether next week. And that's a good thing, man.
So Agatha all along comes out, Chief.
Listen, man.
He's going to throw something at us.
It's not going to be a thumbs up.
It'll be a finger. It won't be a thumb.
Knowledge me.
Don't do it. If you got to watch it, But take in mind, man, that what you're watching is just wasting your time, man. Go out, read. We'll take a walk around your block, man. Go outside to the park. You know what I mean? It's anything is better than the Acolyte. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. It's just not. I've been telling people all today, the juice isn't worth the squeeze at all.
No juice.
No
Bishop
juice.
couldn't even get any juice out of this.
Right.
All right. Well, let's talk about some other things that maybe you'll be excited about. Superman and Lois. The final season debuts October 17th. We're going to get a trailer tomorrow, according to the CW Twitter account for Superman and Lois. And the tagline is, what is the world without Superman? We've already seen that. You guys have already done that storyline with Superman not there. That was just last season when he was in the Bizarro world. I don't know why they're feeling the need to do that again.
Are y'all happy or sad that this is ending? Have they ran out of stories on it?
I'm very curious because it's like the Kent family and Lex Luthor are the only series regulars, which probably will be for the best because I did not care about Lana and her family whatsoever.
Is Lana gone now?
She's not a regular, so she may show up in 3 or 4 of the episodes, but she's not going to be forced into every episode. Like, well, what's Lana and her ex-husband up to now?
Sharika ain't getting no screen time. What about the daughter? Because the daughter was liking the son, right? Is that gone? It's over?
John Henry Irons and his daughter gone. Not in regular.
I thought Lana's daughter was liking the boy.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. No, so every supporting cast member from Chrissy to Kyle to because Kyle and Chrissy were hooking up too, and what's his face? All the Nat, John Henry Irons, they may show up from episode to episode, but they're not going to get forced into every episode like they were doing. So we might actually have a focus on Superman.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Good riddance.
Wait. You cared about all those supporting characters and their subplots, Chief?
Well, I didn't even know. So I stopped watching the Superman. I know this is going to sound real bad. And I don't mean this bad. Please.
Okay. Do I need a disclaimer here?
Let me keep my black card. I stopped watching Superman around the time the black guy showed up. And not because of the black guy, but that's around the time. Like I never saw the end of that season.
Okay.
So,
are you talking about the black villain?
No, the black guy who was in love with Lois because his Lois was killed.
Wow, you missed some good stuff.
I mean, it's on HBO Max.
Maybe I did.
David Thanos, you actually got it right here. He said he saw season 3. He's like, whoa, I don't do season 3.
I don't do season 3, fellas. I don't do season 3. Daredevil.
That's a bad gimmick. Now you've got time to watch that.
I won't. This is season 3.
Jeff, would you watch Jessica Jones season 3?
That was season 2 was bad. Daredevil season 2 was good, and season 3 is good. Tell you what, Chief, let's watch it together, man. I'll rewatch season 3. You watch it with me, huh?
Where's this going to take place, Jeff? Am I coming to your house?
No, I mean, you just say I'm going to start watching, and I will start watching. So we'll try to get 3 episodes done by the next Wednesday for our show.
I'll call you.
All right. More stuff on comic book, movie, TV front, stuff that probably will have you excited. So it looks like the Russo brothers might not actually be done with Marvel just yet. They're in serious talks to do Avengers 5, which was supposedly Secret Wars. And they said the only thing we'd come back for is doing Secret Wars. So we might get some news about that next week at Comic-Con. Are you excited about the idea of the directors of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, not Captain America, the Avengers Infinity War, and the Avengers Endgame coming back to helm another Marvel Studios Avengers film?
Wait. So they're doing another Avengers, but not Secret Wars. That's
so,
what
it's supposed to be the Kang Dynasty. Kang's done. Kang is.
He sure is.
Yeah. So no Kang, but the Russo brothers are in talks, which I can't imagine Marvel wouldn't just say, how much money do you want on this check? Because, I mean, the Russos have directed all the best stuff outside of Black Panther. Yeah. So all the best stuff besides the first Iron Man and the first Captain America, everything, and sure you could say the 3 Spider-Man films, everything was great. And the 2 of the Spider-Man films were after Endgame. They were solid, and the best stuff was from them. So why would they not want them to come back?
Who the Avengers gonna be?
We're gonna find out. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
A trailer
I feel like it's the B team now.
you got a trailer for
oh, that's right. We didn't talk
about
World
Order, so that's gonna help you get to.
It's not New World Order. It's Brave New World. A Brave New World.
Okay, that's what's going to get us to a new new Avengers team. And I actually watched that movie. Wow, that was interesting.
What did you think about Madam Web since you finally watched it?
It was not the worst thing I've seen. I watched Acolyte, so that floor is set. So after watching Acolyte, I watched Madam Web. I'm like, okay, this isn't great. It's not a comic book story. It's just an action story that has a very poor lead who is not charismatic.
Or charismatic.
I mean, it was just, hey, Mom, I'm seeing you for the first time. Hey, Mom, you didn't leave me out. Oh, let's hug. Yay. It was like, come on. I need the director to say, hey, I know I have a small budget, but I'm going to need another take of that so we can get it right. Okay.
Let's try that again.
Let's give it a little more feeling on that one. Like, it was just, hey, he's coming to get you. Let's run. Can we get another take? That's the best I got. Okay.
She was the absolute worst of all the characters in that thing.
I mean, the girls were like just spunky little teenagers. I still don't understand why they felt the need to do this movie in 2003 for odd reasons that only they will know. I mean, but I'm pretty sure if they saw, 2 years after 9/11, I'm thinking New York cops are a little more alert to somebody getting, crazy. But
they got nuts.
I mean, I was just like, okay, that's what you're going to go with. Kind of boring, but again, not the worst thing I've seen all year.
Oh yeah, Madam Web was excellent.
What compared to what?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole movie. I slept through it. Woke up
3 times.
So I told you the story. So yeah, but when I woke up that third time, boy, that thing got good. It was basically an evil Spider-Man. Who knew?
Who needed that? Who needed an evil Spider-Man in your life?
You know what I mean?
I'm also bitten by a spider, and I am evil.
Not to take you off topic here, Jeff, but just real quick, if I can interject.
Please.
I've been watching Supercell.
Yes.
On Netflix.
How is that?
Damn decent. Damn decent.
Okay.
I mean, I was with you until you said decent. I mean, are you not liking it? Or is it like
I put the damn in front of it to establish the decency? Damn decent.
Is that?
I really wish you'd say good.
5, the 7, the 10. What is the damn decent?
So,
is it a C or a D?
I would say it's C. A C. You know what I mean? It hasn't been bad.
Content.
Matter of fact, I'm almost through it. I almost watched every episode that frame period I was watching it. So it was damn decent. Because I don't want to say anything's good anymore because nothing's good, but it was decent. It was damn decent.
Okay.
So if you get a chance, man, Supercell is on.
I do want to watch it. All right, so yeah. I will watch that. Probably faster than you watch anything else.
What's happening?
Sorry, the mic went out. Anyway. Well, we did have an assignment, and I have a dummy of the week that I'm going to hold because I could put that as news, but he's got to be my dummy. All right, well, we've got Deadpool and Wolverine. Make sure I said it right. Coming up. An 80s kid gave us the idea for this one. 80s kid was like, who'd you like to see team up? And so what characters, maybe action, maybe comedy, would you have liked to have seen, or if you could just kind of make it happen, they're doing wacky stuff with AI. What 2 characters would you like to pair up and see collaborate on the big screen?
Oh, So that's what the assignment was. See, I saw Graham up, and I was like, oh. And eventually I thought sniffing. So I'm like, oh, well.
Wait, you said what?
It says in the text, it says Graham up. And that's what I was
So I'm like, who's gramming up? You know what I mean? You know, who's getting sniffy in the Benz? You know what I mean?
Autocorrect is the absolute worst. It's so like on his inability to understand what you're saying.
I mean, Chief, you were not the only one because I'm like,
yeah, I thought because I didn't know what Graham up meant.
I thought I did have an example for
that
you.
Words count.
Like Han Solo teaming with Indiana Jones,
but the Graham up kind of
are they gramming up? Are they
like, what is it mean?
They're getting that powder.
That's a totally different movie series. All right, so let me give you another example while you guys make some changes to your list.
I don't need any changes. I am the chief.
Oh, okay, got you. So one that I put on the thumbnail, first Avenger era Captain America teaming up with Indiana Jones to go beat up on some Nazis. This business is a booming. So that's what I wanted to go with.
Is that Captain America?
Yeah, first Avenger era.
And you said with who?
Indiana Jones.
No, that's not who you had. But I'm gonna let you go with that though.
What?
That's not who you wrote down.
No, I was giving you an example.
Oh, okay.
The one I had, like for real, legit, was 2 World War II heroes teaming up to battle Nazis, where I don't have to stretch too much. You see Indy driving a car, and Cap's got his shield out, doing the thing.
Okay, they're doing the thing.
All right, so who'd like to go next?
Chief, I got a couple. So, if you'd like to go first,
no, I'm going to put you on the spot. Looks like you're writing. So, I'm an asshole.
All right, if you need a break, I got another one.
Yeah, then I got one.
Okay. He's got one. He's writing.
All right, so I think it would have been cool to see James Bond and Jason Bourne trying to take down Treadwell.
Okay.
Can you imagine the editing on that?
Treadstone. That's what it was.
All right, Chief, you got one?
I would have liked to see. My first one is Jason and Michael Myers. I would have loved to have seen them get up on this and just create a super slasher film, where they just meet up somehow and then they just go out and they just kill everybody.
That would have been fun.
A city. You know what I mean? Might have been pretty good, man. Even it might have been really good if they had a zombie apocalypse had taken place and they just go out and start killing zombies. But yeah, those are my first two.
All right. 80s Kid says the real Buzz Lightyear, Mr. Incredible with James P. Sullivan, the monster. David Thanos says pair up Salma Hayek from Eternals and Scarlet Black Widow. That thing don't even need a plot.
All right.
Quiet laughter in agreement. I'll say aye. 80s Kid says Wolverine and Arnold the Terminator. All right, so my next one would be William Money from Unforgiven teaming up with Doc Holliday from Tombstone.
Yeah, that's what's up. And they both drunk. So you know it's gonna be on.
Surly attitudes, doing the thing.
He's killed about anything that's either walked or crawled at one time or another. And he was there to kill Little Bill.
You're right. I'm gonna kill you, Little Bill.
You know what I mean?
All right. Who's next?
Okay. I got Donnie Brasco and John McClane trying to take down international terrorists.
I just finished watching Donnie Brasco like last week, actually. That was a really good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie Brasco was good.
Chief, what you got?
I always wanted an Arnold and Sylvester Stallone movie.
Did you see Escape Plan?
Well, I'm talking about at the height of their power.
Oh, okay.
they were always doing two separate things, but they were always kind of battling, almost like a Prince and Michael Jackson thing. And we never got to see that, man. In their youth, I think they did something when they got older, but in their youth, we never saw it, and it would have been great.
Escape Plan is a really solid movie. Like, you may think, they're too old, but it's actually pretty good.
But I'd like to see them in their youth, man, when they were both just killing machines. Cobra. Then you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was always some retired military dude. Yeah, it would have been nice, man.
All right. Oh, so here we go. We got one. 80s Kid says Han and Indy. And then David Thanos says Dominic Toretto and Ethan Hunt. So Dominic can drive. Instead of him right. I think you're saying Ethan.
Yeah.
So my team up, because I wanted to do one of those too, is the Fast and Furious crew teaming up with the Italian Job crew. I always felt cheated out of not getting a sequel to Italian Job because I like that squad. But we had Jason Statham pulling double duty. But yeah, Dom and his crew and Charlie and his crew doing a massive heist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro, what you got?
My next one is Flash and Green Lantern, and actually having a DC extended universe movie, of actually two guys to team up a lot of times.
Who would be your Green Lantern?
Ryan Reynolds could have done it if the director, he and the director didn't hate each other. Might have been fine.
Jake Sully and Caesar. Snake Eyes. Chief, what you got next?
Abraham Lincoln, because as you all know, Abraham Lincoln killed vampires.
Yes, he did.
And Van Helsing.
There you go.
I was thinking Blade myself.
James was right there with you. Blade and Buffy.
Yeah. Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Killer. Have you seen that movie?
Which one?
Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Killer.
I own it. Own it. And in 3D.
I guess we all own it on DVD. Yeah. Excellent movie.
Absolutely. You see it in 3D?
No.
No, I mean, like, maybe you saw it when it originally came to theaters in 3D. But like when he's swinging the axes coming to the screen is awesome.
Jeff, I didn't get to see it, all right? We all don't have on the 3D TV, man. Let it go.
I was saying the theaters had it in 3D.
I don't remember that. But yes, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Killer. Freeing the slaves and killing vampires. Man,
it's an unbeatable premise.
Yeah.
Because like all the vampires are slaveholders.
Yeah.
Jace, what you got next?
That was in it from Captain America.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, the Falcon.
Captain America.
Yeah. Both, and also one.
Right. One or many.
Mm-hmm.
Jace, what you got?
Okay. Next one. Highlander and the Bride.
Who's the Bride?
From Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Getting revenge on all the guys who came for him. Yeah.
Agent Smith and the Terminator. That's a fun with Snake Eyes.
We missed you.
All right. So Axel Foley, because I just watched Axel F. And Chief, in your words, that was decent. I liked it. I thought it was funny and good stuff. So Axel Foley and James Cotter. And have like the two funny guys. And maybe we could have Jackie Chan and some of the Beverly Hills Cop crew as the straight men trying to keep them together. But yeah.
Okay.
John Wick and Captain America. Well, he doesn't have to worry about the language. Bless you.
Thank you.
What you got now, Chief?
I've got Eastwood and Bronson. Clint Eastwood back in the day, man, the Dirty Harry series.
There you go.
And Charles Bronson, man, he had the Death Wish series.
Yes.
And also 10 to Midnight. Did you ever see 10 to Midnight?
I didn't see that one.
Man, if you want an excellent Charles Bronson movie, man, 10 to Midnight is it. 10 to Midnight. I love that movie, man. The ending is it's the best.
Okay.
What you got, Jason?
All right. I got the Ocean's 13 crew going up against Benoit Blanc from Knives Out. Can they actually pull off the greatest while the greatest detective is also trying to get him?
I like that. Billy Butcher and the Punisher. All right, Snake Eyes. That's a fun one. David Thanos says Will Smith and Martin Lawrence with Tucker and Chan. Rush Boys. That's fun. What was the one I just had? Jeez. And it just, of course, slipped my mind. Let's see here. Darn it. Chief, you got another one?
Superman, Shazam, and Black Adam.
Thank you. I saved it just for you. I was like, I'm not going to say that one. That's why I get you to go first.
You know that John would have been the movie, man. But instead, we got Long Neck Superman.
Wow. On that line, I would say a multiverse: Batman, Michael Keaton, Batman, Christian Bale, and Batman, Ben Affleck. In the multiverse, going against let's see, how many Jokers do we actually have? Going against Jared Leto's Joker. No.
I was gonna say, are you kicking out George Clooney?
Yes, I am.
Out of those three, who would win in a fight?
Huh?
Out of those three, who do you think would win in a fight?
Ben Affleck. He's tougher than everybody.
Yeah.
He's been world beaten.
He has been beaten down.
Jamelin says, I think Axel Foley and John McClane could be a fun buddy cop team up. That would be fun.
That probably is good.
Batman, Keaton, and Daniel Craig from Knives Out. 80s kid. All right. Jace, you got some more?
I got this is one of my more ridiculous ones. I got Ferris Bueller and Hunter S. Thompson.
Where's Hunter from?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And the hijinks the two of them could get into. Just could be rather interesting.
Ferris Bueller.
All right. I've got now it's very specific. The Hangover crew from either one or two, the only Hangover films, and all the snow from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
You add him as part of the crew.
Hello, mate. Just don't pick up the phone. Doc Brown and Mr. Spock. That's fine. 80s. Chief, you got any more?
I'm tapped out.
All right, Jace, how about you?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Okay. I got Brian Mills from the Taken series. And he was being partner with Ben Affleck from The Accountant.
I thought you were going to say John Wick.
That could have been good too. Dang.
Ooh, Hangover crew, Superbad crew.
That would be fun.
They're underage. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything with it.
Hey, you only have. Wait a minute. You came out with a fake ID with one name, and you're 20.
Just lazy. All right. Well, isn't that time? Because we're back on in a half hour. But fellas, who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? And Chief, since you had that really long rant and your voice is probably hoarse and you stayed up really late, put in the work for the team to watch the Acolyte season finale, why don't we give you a second? And Jace, why don't you kick us off? John Wick and Denzel from Equalizer. That's fun.
Nice. That would have been good.
I like that theme.
Nice. Well, I think this one's a low hanging fruit. I'm still going to take it.
Go for it.
Ms. Ingrid Andress, who decided to do the home run derby. If you haven't heard her rendition of the national anthem, you owe yourself a treat. It was actually heralded as one of the worst renditions of the national anthem ever. I still think ever. But afterwards, she said, all right, she made I may have been drunk during the singing the national anthem, and I'm going to hobble to rehab. And has already checked herself in. But if that's what needs to get you to rehab, good thing, because you know.
Is that what happened? She checked herself in the rehab?
She said, I'm gone. I got that drunk at a baseball game, which nobody's ever complained about usually getting drunk at a baseball game, but
when you're there to be paid,
but you're waiting until the game starts. Before you do your one job, your 3-minute rendition, then you're allowed to drink, not drink before the game. So by not actually waiting that 5 to 10 minutes before you had your, well, chances are if you're that drunk, you can't sing.
The game ain't even started yet.
You probably need to be considered my dummy of the week, and a lot of others.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'll see when you get off. Watch the video; it's everywhere. It's bad times.
It's a crazy, crazy world.
Oh yeah.
My nominee is Leslie Headland, not just for not for her strong efforts to just do whatever the heck she wanted to do with Star Wars, but in more interviews that she's continuing to talk to folks about it. She was saying, she was asked about if Jackie or Yord's stories could be revisited down the line. So not only is she really hoping that there is a second season, but they're actually going to put in flashbacks to characters who no longer matter because they're dead. And I don't care about Jackie. And Yord was just kind of running around shirtless for reasons. And so why do we need to revisit them for the hundreds and dozens maybe of people who were interested and cared about those characters? No, I say no, Leslie. No flashbacks because you don't know how to operate and do them properly. We'll have 2 episodes with different points of view from Yord and Jackie. And we don't need a second season of Acolyte. Chief, who is your nominee?
Lawrence Taylor.
What do you do?
He just keeps getting arrested, man.
Again?
He's 65 years old now, man.
What is he even doing?
This dude, at some point in time, man, it seems like you would be like, that was my last time. You're a registered sex offender, bro. You gotta register. When you move from your house to another house, guess what? You gotta register. Hey, I'm here. And this dude, for whatever reason, I keep forgetting. And he'll move. They find out he moves. They see if he registered, and they come lock him up. And
they won't let him out.
I don't understand. I don't understand the need to go to jail, man. He's one of the greatest football players ever, if not the greatest, depending on the circles that you run in. I mean, he is the greatest, but I won't debate that right now. But anyway, just get arrested, man. This dude, again, man, always. You can count on a few things. Every couple of years, Taylor's arrested, and the sun is going to shine at some point this week. And I'm going to tell you what, man. You set your clock to it. Taylor is a wild boy, man.
I mean, that's one of those things. I hate to say this, but you should have a lawyer on retaining. Like, hey, as I'm signing the contracts to help you move to your next place, we need to put the paperwork in.
He's got a lawyer.
And his lawyer's like, his lawyer's so pissed. He's like, why are you blaming me for this? I told the dude.
The lawyer hit the fumble rooster. The lawyer's like, it's a minor significant mistake. Minor significant mistake. It's a minor significant mistake.
Yeah. Our client's gonna minorly go to jail.
Yeah, he's locked up. You know what I mean? He's locked up. They came and locked him up, man. Get in the car, Taylor. You just can't stay out of jail, man. I never forget, man. They were doing a little story on him, and he was talking, and it was his last season that he was playing. And somewhere during that season, I don't know if it was the beginning or the middle of the season, one of his teammates, which looking back on it, you should have punched that teammate in his mouth. But one of his teammates said to him, man, when you retire, you can finally start using drugs again. You know? And that's what they said to him. And he said for that season, his last season, he couldn't get that thought out of his head. When I retire, it's no more tests. I can go in there and I can use drugs as often as much as I want. And that's exactly what he did when he retired. You know what I mean? It's been great here at Giant Stadium. My man's got in his car. You know what I mean? Rode down Bushwick Avenue. I need two. Is that you, Taylor? Never mind who it is. And from that point on, man, he flushed his money down the toilet, man. Arrested, convictions. It's just you can always be you can be one of those people, huh?
This is the second time he's been locked up for this same offense.
For the same offense, bro. I mean, some people you can tell the stove is hot, and some people got to touch it. And Taylor is one of those dudes who's got to go over and see for himself if the stove is hot. You know what I mean?
It's not hot.
Like, don't touch that stove, it's hot. And he'd be like, all right. But then Taylor's like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let me see if it is still. Oh, yeah. You were right. You know what I mean? And that's Lawrence Taylor for you, man. So Lawrence Taylor locked up again, man. His face plastered all over the New York Post. Good luck, bro. I hope you finally get it. I hope this is your last one, man. You're 65. I hope you get it together, man.
All right. Well, fellas, thank you as always. Hanging. Special time change thanks to Wi-Fi Storm. Thank you, David Thanos, 80s Kid from the 90s, Jamelin Parks, Snake Eyes, Kevin Davis. Let's see if I forgot anybody.
Snake Eyes. We got a couple folks
who were hanging with us.
Got Mage,
Lions, BK,
Mage
TVPTB, and I think that's everything. James Green, there we go. Back with the power and all that good stuff. All right, well.
Thanos, of course. Yeah.
And David Thanos, of course. I'll be back on at exactly 8:05 for another edition of Lyle's Figure Files. But thank you all for rolling with us right now. And we'll be back hopefully next Wednesday. Probably talking about some of this stuff that's starting to drop in advance of Comic-Con. We'll break down what we want to see on that end too. So for now, this episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.